when you make money, you should just put it in the bank and keep adding to it. So it was a huge adjustment for me to think that it was even a good idea to get a multifamily where we would be paying money out of pocket in order to make money long term, right? Because to me, I'm like, 7 years until it breaks even, like that seemed wild to me at the time. But now, we're 6 years in, we're about to be to where it's all profit all the time.
Save. I don't even care if it makes sense.
Don't do anything risky ever.
But then, as you learn more, then you realize, especially, you're talking about with inflation and everything, if your money isn't growing, you're actually losing money.
Right.
And the idea of that drives me crazy.
Hey everyone, this is Kristen and my husband Kendall. Together we run the Reyes Home Team. We have a real estate company out of Southern New Hampshire servicing Southern New Hampshire and Northern Massachusetts. Today we're going to be talking about different types of real estate that you can invest in and the opportunities that come with owning real estate.
Yeah, we're going to really talk about the things that we love about real estate, and there's so many reasons to love it, appreciate it. There's so many different ways you could do it. So we could kind of just dive right in. So Kristen, what is one of the things you really love about real estate?
So with being a realtor, there's a lot of relationship building. I love the aspect of kind of solving a problem for people that need a problem solved and being able to build the relationship with them from the first time that we ever talk through all of their milestones, whether they're a family that's buying a home and then having kids, or if it's a family with a ton of kids that's looking for a house, or someone who is single and looking for an investment property. It's just an exciting time to be part of someone's life, and it's a really great feeling advising them through such a huge purchase.
So you be able to help and advise people and, be able to connect with them, you say is what really draws you in?
Right. And it's like problem solving, right? Because it's a puzzle, because there's the property disclosure, there's the different things that everyone is looking for, and you have to negotiate it in a way that everyone feels happy. And it's just like it's a fun atmosphere to be in.
It's a challenge, one, you got to do right by your clients, but two, you also got to, figure it out. And, sometimes they always tell you when you start real estate, every transaction is different. And this has been so true.
Yeah, every single day is different.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll just get like a phone call and it's just like drops a bomb on you. Like, okay, let's go deal with that. Or, it's there's definitely a lot of unique things about, real estate that, that we're both, attracted to in terms of the challenge. And, but it's at the end of the day, so rewarding to be able to, navigate those different challenges. And at the end of the day, see, a happy client, whether they bought a home, whatever they did, you were just able to piece it together for them. And it's such a, big part of, their life. Because we're talking real estate. These are some of the, the biggest, purchases, people ever make. So it's extremely, extremely important.
So there's a lot of different avenues that you could get into real estate, even not just as a realtor, but also as the consumer. There's so many different ways that you can make money. I think the quote is like, there's 90% of millionaires in the world have real estate. They've made their wealth off of real estate, at least partially.
Yeah. You look at all these uber wealthy, they run businesses and they do all this, but all of them still find a way to invest back in real estate somehow. Talk about all the different avenues of real estate, especially, what people are doing nowadays with, the short-term vacation rentals, the Airbnb and, VO type properties. There you could go about it that way, or you could do buy and hold, where typical single family or multifamily rentals, and then fix and flip. HGTV. Come on, you talk about a few years ago, everyone wanted to flip a house. Like I think that idea of, hey, you could take something, put some love into it, then resell it, like is such a cool idea. Still haven't flipped anything yet, but maybe one day me and Kristen, we'll get out there and be able to flip a property. But
yeah, so when people come to us that want to buy any sort of investment property, I usually have them just call you because you're kind of the expert of the two of us. So if you were just somebody who thinks maybe in the future you'd like to get an investment property, what are things that you would advise them to consider before going to look at properties?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's always in a different situation, with where they're at, financially, stage of life. Kind of the advice I've given a lot of my friends, single friends, but it's really advice for anyone. I was like, hey, you don't have a family yet and you're making good money. A lot of times people are like, oh, I'm making good money, I want to go buy this big house. I'm like, why? You live in a house by yourself.
You're not going to make any money on that.
Yeah, like that. If it's not making you money, like, what is it doing? Is it added to your happiness? But or you could take that, put a small portion of that down, and buy maybe a multifamily property to where where you're paying very little rent, someone else is paying for your mortgage. There's so many opportunities to be able to build your wealth, and you could do it very, very for putting very little down, especially that first time as a first time home buyer or owner occupied. You could put a little bit down. So
if
then,
you do owner occupied, what is the percentage down that you need?
Yeah, so a lot of times it's about 3.5%, depending on everyone's financial situation, but typically 3.5% owner occupied homes. We go FHA. There's a lot of programs out there that the lenders could speak to you about. But I mean, think about it. You could buy a 4-unit building, 3.5% down. I mean, you got 3 tenants. They're definitely gonna be able to
cover the mortgage.
Cover the mortgage. Then now you keep saving. You're in a position to buy another one a whole lot quicker than if you bought a house first. Then now you're looking to buy other properties after. I mean, if you could do it, more power to you. But I mean, talking about 3.5% down on a home, that's something that a lot of people could build up to. It's not just for the uber rich or the uber wealthy. There's a lot of self-made people in the real estate industry, and a lot of them started with that model. One of our coworkers posted the other day, like, hey, how old are you when you bought your first home? And I was like, it was really cool to see that people were like, yeah, I was 23 and I bought a multifamily, and I was 26 and I did all that. And I'm just like, smart.
Good for you.
Yeah, you're smart. Like, good.
So yeah, for everybody who's listening, we actually have a couple of multifamilies. We bought them, 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, in 2017.
Yeah. So 4 units total, both in the same town. And thank God we haven't run into any huge capital expenses on them. We haven't had to do the roof or anything wildly expensive. But do you want to kind of tell them about our experience with the multis?
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, it was, we bought those when I was forced out of football due to injury. Not salty about it at all, but no, but I was always attracted to, investing in real estate. We actually had a rental property before that we bought a few years ago, which was a single family. But so I was like, all right, build it up, add to the portfolio. And yeah, the properties did great, especially now where the market has gone. I mean, the amount of equity we have in these units is unbelievable, and rents have gone up, and so they do very well. So I'm always like, man, I wish it was 2017 again. I'll keep buying some more. But I always get fascinated with people who they quit their 9-to-5 and they jump into real estate investing, and it's crazy how quickly people could do well with it, as long as you educate yourself and you surround yourself with people who know what they're doing. Don't get me wrong, there's risk involved, and if you don't do things the right way. But just like with anything in life, if you want to go do something, seek mentorship. Find people that are doing what you want to do, and you'll learn so much from them in a short amount of time. Someone who's been doing something for 20 years. They've definitely had their ups and downs and made their mistakes, but they can tell you that. You get 20 years experience just by talking to somebody. And going back to what Kristen said, building those relationships, I mean, especially when it comes in the real estate investing world, it is all about relationships. Because in there, guys are going to pass deals to people that they know are, going to take care
Yeah,
of it.
we know about a lot of deals before they hit the MLS.
Yeah.
When they're still deals.
Yeah, exactly. But people that that grind and find a way. There's always opportunity, no matter where the market is. When everyone thinks the market's going right, there's some smart people that are going left, and like, hey, this is where the opportunity is, or vice versa.
So yeah, I was raised with the mindset and the examples put forth before me that when you make money, you should just put it in the bank and keep adding to it. So it was a huge adjustment for me to think that it was even a good idea to get a multifamily where we would be paying money out of pocket in order to make money long term, right? Because to me, I'm like 7 years until it breaks even. Like that seemed wild to me at the time. But now, we're 6 years in, we're about to be to where it's all profit all the time. But I just always felt like, okay, you make money, you put it in the bank, and like it'll grow. I didn't really realize when I was younger that it grows at like pennies a year. But it's like I kept being like forcing myself against all of this advice from people being like, multifamilies are a smart move. Multifamilies are a smart move. I saw other people making money off of it, but I felt like, nope. I was raised to think it's smarter to save and over time, and then one day you'll retire and you'll have all of this money in your account. But it's like, this makes so much more sense.
Let me just paint a picture for everyone that's out there. Your dad's what? What is he? He's
high up in a company.
He's high up in a company, and you look at him and you think he's a lumberjack. Yeah. He buys cars from, police auctions and all this other stuff. And he loves it. He lives
very humbly.
He lives so humble. So my wife's maiden last name is McDougal, and the nickname that all the McDougals had growing up was Frugal McDougal. That just kind of paints a little imagery of her stance on money. It's save. I don't even care if it makes sense.
Don't do anything risky ever.
Yeah,
very conservative.
Zero risk. But then as you learn more, then you realize, especially you're talking about with inflation and everything, if your money isn't growing, you're actually losing money.
Right.
And the idea of that drives me crazy. I'm just like, one of my favorite games to play is Monopoly. On the plane, when I used to travel back and forth to games, I had an iPad and I downloaded the Monopoly app. And
he forced me into playing this
I would just sit there and play. But like the whole idea of that game is to take the little bit of money that you have, grow it, crush everyone around you. Whether you crush everyone around you or not, you could still take what you have and grow it, no matter how much you start with.
Yeah, and it's interesting too once you get into like now this investment that you've set up for us with these multifamilies. Now, if we wanted to, we could take out a loan against those homes since we have so much equity and use that same amount of cash that's already tied up in the houses to make even more money, which is kind of like the next phase of what we'll be doing, which again, this has taken me since 2017 to wrap my head around that idea.
Yeah.
But it's just a wild concept that you can use the same amount of money and put it into a bunch of different places to make as much money as possible, rather than having it in my Bank of America account that made me like $1.05 a year.
Yeah. That $1.05, it's get a Happy Meal or something. It can't even do that. The one thing I do really love about it is it's a tangible asset. Like, I could see where it is. Like, when we buy a property, I don't like, I spent my money. I'm like, no, I just put it over here. Like, if we want $300,000, we sell that building, and now we have $300,000. It's, my money is still there. It's just in a different form, which is, an incredible idea. And, it took some time to get Kristen, wrap her head around it. But, it's it doesn't matter when you get there as long as you get there, right?
Yeah.
So.
And so in the last few years, Airbnbs and short-term rentals have become wildly popular. We tried it for a little bit. It wasn't our thing. It was a little bit too far away for what we liked. But in our area, we've got the mountains, we've got Boston, Portsmouth. There's so many opportunities for short-term rentals, and you've kind of spoken with a bunch of clients about that kind of stuff. So
yeah, the short-term rentals, like as Chris mentioned, we got one ourselves. It actually did well. But
it was in Florida though.
It was in Florida. which was fine. I always wanted to place in Florida, but it just wasn't ideally for us, what we wanted, to necessarily do with that, and so we sold it, made money on the Airbnb. But like when you invest that way, even when you try something and you buy something where you're going to gain equity just by making a purchase, you never have a bad investment.
As long as you buy smart.
Yeah, as long as you buy smart, you could take a chance on something. When I convinced her that we needed to buy it, I was like, let's take a chance. And if it doesn't work out, or at least work out the way that we wanted to, we'll sell it. And we did. Yeah, in terms of, the short-term rental market, Airbnb is huge. Especially in northern New Hampshire, I've seen, a big trend, like near the mountains and the, ski areas. Because, these places are beautiful during the summer. During the winter, you obviously, you got all the snowmobile, ski, all of that. And they do very well. And, think about it, for the most part, these places aren't, the further you go up north, besides being on a lake, the places get cheaper and cheaper. So your return on investment is incredible. Like anything else, do your research. Certain towns don't allow short-term rentals. I would say overall, the short-term rental rules and they're a little bit more volatile than long-term rentals. Long-term rentals pretty much everywhere. What I mean by long-term rentals is when you lock somebody into a lease, typically for over 6 months. Short-term, talking weekly rentals. So those are the key difference between those two types of properties. With the short-term rental, you have to get many different people in and out of your building. And a lot of times those buildings could take a lot of abuse. So, but it does. On the flip side, it does have an opportunity to make you a lot of money where, long-term rentals, more consistent, maybe a little less sexy for some people, maybe more up Kristen's alley when it comes to the two. Let's go something nice and plain and simple, and I definitely get that, but there's great opportunities with that for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to get someone on here eventually that has some short-term rentals that can kind of walk us through their experience with it.
Yeah, if you got short-term rentals and you definitely want to talk about it, talk about your experiences, we'd love to have you on the show.
We've stayed in some really cool places.
Yeah.
Like that one that we stayed at up in, where was it, Littleton, New Hampshire, on that pond?
Oh, yeah.
It was so cool.
Beautiful. The thing about short-term rentals, just because you need to get so many renters in there, you got to stand out. You got to have some good photos. You got to have something really unique and cool.
Worthy.
Yeah, it's...
We had the one bad one we stayed in, we were just talking about this the other day, was in Mexico. And we vowed that after that, we would never stay in an Airbnb in another country.
Yeah.
Because I think that maybe the amount of stars that I would give something isn't equivalent to what the locals would have given that.
Yeah, it's especially traveling outside the states. You never know what you're really gonna get. But I'm sure people have had great experiences.
I'm sure that owner is making a ton of money.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like a place right on top of a club. Sure, great. Probably great for a bachelor party. Plenty of things that we love about it. And so many different ways to make money. If you guys ever need advice and have any questions, you could definitely reach out to us. We could connect you with a lot of different people. We could advise you through the different types of avenues to make money. And honestly, sometimes you really don't need as much as you think to get started.
We work primarily southern New Hampshire, northern Massachusetts, but if you're somewhere else and you just are thinking of purchasing any type of real estate, reach out to us. We're happy to help you. If you live in Texas and you want to get a 4-unit, we're happy to walk you through the process and help you find somebody to work with. I know, Kendall, you've helped some of the guys that you played with just kind of get over the hurdles of how to buy a property and how to get set up for a loan and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of times it's, even though the property could be in California or Florida, wherever it is, I've helped people ask the right questions. Who's the expert in this in this town? And, do they deal with this type of client? And do they specialize in this? And, so it's all about, asking those right questions and, and be able to point people in the right direction and, set them free. So thank you for tuning in, to our 3rd episode, and we'll look forward to see you guys in the next one.